Hi team, welcome back. Welcome everyone. So we've got our assignment from previous day, and that was primarily here. So I had put in a request to say how can we print a tree? If we take a height, we take a width and print something like this. So height is 8, width is 7. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And width is 7 is basically, I think we're talking from here overall. Biggest one, that's about 7 things total. And how could we program it? So one thing that will help us to do this, team, is to talk about a print statement. Let us say if I want to print A, I want to print it, let us say 8 times. All I do is I say print A star 8. Now when I do this print, what it would do for us is it would take A and print it 8 times in the same line. So same with anything like an integer as well. So if I say I is 1 and I say print I, but if I say I star 8, in this case, I think it'll multiply it and print. I'm not sure, but let's try. Yeah, it's actually multiplying in this case. What I would do is I would do casting at that time, convert it to string and then do it. So for example, let me search Python, and please keep your search very handy, team. Convert int to string. It should be basically nothing but str off. That is how it is usually been. But always refer to search whenever you are able to do this thing. So we say d.str, but we actually say str of 10. That's what we need to do. So what that means is, if I say string of I, now I has become a string of 3. Now let's see. There we go. Did you see the difference? So let's put both the statements here. Now that would help us a little bit with this exercise. Now if you're not aware of this and hence could not continue, not a problem, team. Now you're aware. But what is most important is how we're building the logic. And that is what I would love to see. Okay, so whatever you've done, to whatever extent, but I want to see the logic. And I want to see participation, team. There's so many of us joining these webinars. It is really good to see participation, but you all have to be a little confident. Show up, please. Out of, I'm only seeing about 3-4 hands. That's not even 10% of the number of people there. Okay, great. So let's get started. Let's see. Thank you so much. I have some more hands raised. Aparna, I'm going to make you presenter. And you should also be able to speak at that time.
Hey, Karthik, can you see my screen?
You and hear you.
Okay. All right. So first of all, actually I got the requirement a little incorrect. Instead of saying the height is 8, I thought the height is 4. Okay, and what I did was I did 4 for the upper part and 4 for the bottom part. So basically it is 8, but somehow I took it like that.
No problem.
Okay, all right. So let us look at the solution. Now, to get to the solution of this, I had to assume it as an array, as an array of things. So I listed out the top part and the bottom part of the tree separately. Like if you look at the top part, it's like a tree. So that is what I put it here from line number 18 to line number 27. So I try to put it in a 7x4 matrix.
Got it. 7x8 maybe.
Okay, and
sure.
Okay, and I'm sorry, Karthik, your voice is breaking.
No, excellent. Very good. Keep going.
Okay, all right. So here I'm taking the tree height and width an input from the user. Okay, and I'm trying to print the first tree, the first part of the tree, which is the top
Yes.
part. Okay, and to print the top portion, I need to print like 4 rows in the top portion.
Correct.
Okay, which is what I'm capturing in the first for loop.
That is tree height. Got it.
Okay, and in the second portion, I'm trying to add spaces. If you look at the top portion, for the first line, there are 3 spaces followed by a star.
Correct.
And second line, there are 2 spaces followed by 3 stars.
Correct.
Third line, there is 1 space, and in the fourth line, there are no spaces.
Correct.
So in the first space, I had to I worked on this program for more than 4 hours, Karthik, frankly speaking.
Good.
I did not start with tree height or tree width. I started with the basic numbers. Like I entered 4 and 7, and I tried putting 4 and 7 here because I could not assume looking at the variables. I was getting confused.
Sure.
So I took the numbers and I did it, and later on I replaced the numbers with the variables.
Sure.
Okay, so coming back to the program, the second line is for adding the spaces. Okay, and I'm calculating it based on the height of the tree. Like if you look at 4 is the height, and I added 3 spaces. Okay, so it is like I came up with this number, whatever it is, like 4 minus 1, or because in the first time the row is 0.
Yes.
And if you look at the range, the for loop, in the for loop the range will be 4, 1 and minus 1. Okay, which is what will print the spaces, and the third for loop is to print the actual stars. Okay, and here I had a question for you. I can actually print the tree using the row variable. I don't even need the tree width. Row is nothing but tree height.
Sure.
If you look at this, I can do it with this, but I just wanted to include tree width because you asked me to put tree width there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this would capture the top part of the tree, and the second part is basically very simple.
1 second. So, what is this line 50 again? Print star.
Line 50 is nothing but the tree width.
Tree width.
I included the tree width.
Oh, first one is printing spaces.
Yes, and second one is adding the stars. How many stars do I want?
Very nice. Okay. So here you have the overall tree width, and
the top part of the tree
by
width.
2 times row minus 1 tree width. Come on, good.
I started with numbers and then I replaced the values, and it was a lot of trial and error, Karthik.
Sure. No, absolutely. But don't you think that it gave you a good opportunity to learn these loops a little bit well?
Yes, absolutely. And also, I mean, first of all, I was blank. I did not know where to start with. And actually, I looked at a YouTube video with C programming. And there, that guy tried to explain it a little bit, but I did not get it actually. It was too much for me. So then I started doing it all by myself. I got the basic idea and then I started doing it by myself.
Sure. So why are you using the N?
This is because normally in Python, what I realized is print is printing something and it is going to the new line.
Correct.
And if I don't want it to go to the new line, somehow I had to stop it from going to the new line. So I had to put an explicit end there.
And you searched for that solution?
Yeah, I searched for that as well because I didn't know that.
No problem. And even there was someone else in the team who did the same and showed me the print with that end also. Okay, now let's look at the second tree.
Okay. Now second tree is second part is basically simple. The bottom part of the tree, the trunk of the tree. Here we have to print stars in a particular in one column. Okay, so basically for spaces you would need a for loop, and after that you just have to print the star. For stars you don't need a for loop. Okay, and here I have put the spaces in such a way that it would add 3 spaces here and then a star.
Very nice. Can we run it a couple of times?
Sure. Okay. You want me to run with some other number, Karthik? Like 5?
Yes, we'll run with, let's say 5 and 10, and then let's say 15 and 10.
Okay.
Okay, just not too much playing around, but at least in that scope of things.
Sure.
Excellent. That looks so amazing.
5 and 10.
Width is 10. Okay, let's say 5 and 5. What happens? It will look very odd tree. It's doing still the same. Let's do 5 and 100.
5 and
100.
100. Oh, okay. 5 and 100. Oh, it's still doing the same.
Yes. And now let's do maybe 10 and 5.
Okay.
Nice. So it is, you know what it is doing? I don't think it's taking width into consideration much because it is definitely taking the height.
Okay.
And on the height, equal height for the top, equal height for the width. That's what it's doing.
Okay.
See, line 46 and your line 55.
Okay.
So whatever is my height, it is doing it for that.
Oh.
Perfect. So your width is how do I say width? If height is there, why do I need width sometimes? Wide. How do we say wide? But you know what? Let's look into it. And team, I have not seen this as an assignment in the other programs and then said, let's try and do it in Python. I just felt, remembering my computer science engineering days, that we can do a lot of things just with print. Why not print a few things? We used to print amazing things, a lot of things we could do with print, but basically just try to get started with it. Aparna, can I give you a feedback?
Yes, Karthik.
Absolutely brilliant what you've done. I am super impressed for a few things, and I'll be very explicit in mentioning this. Can you go to the top of the code?
Sure. Yeah.
It is nice of you to put that bulk comment in the top as to what the purpose is, like I write it stupidly and so on. But what you wrote from line 16, the way you design the solution, phenomenal. Okay. When you said arrays and list, I thought, oh man, what are we doing? But then I understood what you were doing. You just created a table to show it.
It was hard for me to imagine everything, Karthik. So once I did the table, then it was like, okay, I knew what I need to do.
Yes. And I will show you the approach I would take if I was a beginner programmer. It'll be a long approach, like you spend 4 hours, right? But we will take those approaches. It was very, very nice that you put it on a piece of paper first as to what you want to do, what you want your program to do, then going about doing it. The second thing, third thing, if you scroll down further, when you mention that, line 40 to 43, while you have the variables, with names. You were not able to visualize it without a number there. So you hard-coded values to try it, and then you change it to variable. Again, a fantastic job.
Thank you, Karthik.
Simple fixes that we will do. And these are the simple things that we'll have to think through to make real effective solutions, team. And that is the only essence of being a good programmer. Excellent, very well done. And yes, you and I, we both notice somehow the height or width, something is not working fully correct, and that's okay. Maybe we can look at it. What we should definitely try and do is run our code a few times in few scenarios, team. Okay, so keep a data set of at least 10 to 12 items in a different zone, or how do I say, different sizes and so on, to play around and see how our code reacts to it. Excellent, very, very good job. I'm very, very happy, Aparna. I really get very excited and motivated when I see students doing all this work. This is great, phenomenal. Thank you, Aparna.
Thanks, Karthik.
All right, great. Neeraja, I'm coming to you. Just made you presenter. Is it Swati? Which doesn't matter in this program? Maybe it looks like. Yes, we can see your screen, Neeraja, and hear you. Yes. Are you speaking for us? Neeraja can't hear you. Try and say hi. Maybe it's already audible. I can hear your keyboard. Maybe it's not you. You try and adjust. Aparna, I'll put you on. Can you go on mute, Aparna?
Sure.
Neeraja, I cannot hear you. Can you try and check your audio? We'll come back to you in a few seconds. Okay, thank you. Maithili, I'm making you presenter.
Hello.
Hi, Maithili.
Hi, Karthik. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, and hear you too.
Okay. So this is the tree program, the assignment program. So
Very nice.
initially, I'm getting the input tree height and width from the user. So I'm giving the input, when I'm getting the input, I'm making sure that the tree height is greater than 3, so that I don't want it to be a very small one. At least if in case it is a 2, then it's going to be difficult to view the tree. And then the same way for the width as well. Tree width, I'm having greater than or equal to 3.
Sure.
And in this part, I'm checking whether they have entered the integer and the height value. And if in case it is not the one which I'm expecting, then it goes to the next else part. Doesn't match the given criteria. And inside this, when I get the tree height, I'm dividing it into 2. One is for the crown and for the trunk. So if in case my height is say 8, my crown will be 4 and the trunk will be 4. If in case my height, the given height is an odd number like 9, then my crown will be 5 and the trunk will be 4. So this statement is for that. And for the conditional statement, if else, I'm having it in a single statement, single one.
Sure.
Okay. So once my crown and the trunk heights are decided, then I go for the width, because I can see here I'm just showing you an example. I have given us 15, the tree width, and the height is 12. So when I have the tree width as 15, and I thought of going by the way you have given in the example, like 1, 3, 5, 7. But when we go for the minimum height and the maximum width, then this will not work out, because the final tree width will not match. So what I did was I divided into an equal frame. Like if my height is 4, here I have given the height as 12. So my crown height will be 6. So this 15 I have divided by 6. So when I divide by 6, I'm going for an equal part, 2, 4, 8, like that, 2, 4, 6, 8. And the remaining at the end, when I divide 15 by 6, it is going to have a remainder. So in that case, the final width will not adjust. So I'm adding just the remainder to the final width. So this is for this.
I was just thinking why we didn't start with 1 star in the beginning. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
I was just thinking why our tree did not start with a single star in the front, at the top.
Okay.
No,
So that's why, because when I have with 1, 3.
What if you make 15 to 14?
I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
So you rounded 15 to 16, correct?
No. Here for the initial width, I'm just taking the initial width. Here the width is 15. So I'm just dividing by the crown. So here it will be 15 divided by 6. So this will give me the initial width, which is 2. The remainder part, I'm not taking it. And the remainder, I'll be adding it for here. The modulo operation, I'm doing it and adding it for the final width, tree width. So here I'm printing the tree in 2 different parts. One is for the crown and the next is for the trunk. For the crown, I have used a for loop. And when I went for this, initially I didn't know how to give the space in my output. So I didn't have this initial multiplication operator. I just printed only the star part, and then I introduced one more loop, so that here I'm adding an extra spaces. So my first, when I come into this for loop, my height will start with 0. So I have to check how many stars I have to print in the first row. So I have added 1 to my initial and then multiplied it with the initial width. So my this value will be 2, and then if the crown height is reached, then I'm adjusting it with the additional the width adjustment, or else I'm using directly the height which I need to print, which is the 2. So this loop goes on till I have completed my crown height. And for the trunk, I'm just having the middle part. My width is 15, so my middle value will be either 7 or 8. According to that, I have introduced spaces before and printed star here. So this program works good like for values which is higher, but if I go for lower values like 5 and 5, so here I could see the gap. The structure is not perfect in this case. But when I go with the higher values like 13 or 15. It's kind of I don't see the difference for higher values.
Sure. So again, amazing code. I really like the way you put it together. Maithili, right? Your name?
Yes, Karthik.
Maithili, fantastic things on a few things. Let me explain to you where. So go up, please.
Okay.
Beginning of your code. So I liked it that you got up with what we want to do and then you entered everything. I really like the way you felt through the fact that you cannot make a tree with 3 or lesser number, and you put as part of your assumption, and you have an else statement which says please enter something valid and so on. So that's a good thinking. That's a good programmer thinking. Okay, so you thought that. And also how you've combined your if statement into one single statement, for example, on line 24, line 31, and so on. I typically don't do that too much because while it looks very fancy and shorter code, number of lines, but from a readability perspective, right, it takes a little while to take a deeper look into it. But then just to see and show to everyone that look at the possibilities that Python can do and how we can combine everything into one statement rather than having to write dozens of lines. So that's very, very well done thing. Good job, Mikey. And the way you've done your numbers was very, very well done. The only thing I would say is, for me, the tree must start with a single star.
Okay.
And it has to be correct. So if a user enters something, then adjust it, the number, such a way that you can still build it almost close. But it cannot start with 2 stars. It cannot have an additional star, because if you have 2 stars, your trunk of the tree won't be aligned correctly to the center. It always be one side here or there, right? So just look at how we could improve. But the way you approached it, tremendous. This is significant. You've really approached it with, look at the comments that you put in. Fantastic. Thank you so much for this. We'll do a lot more assignments and we'll explore a lot of these much more.
Okay.
Very motivating team. Thank you. Thank you, Maithili.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right, Suresh, on to you. And Neeraja, whenever you're ready with your audio, we'll come back to you again.
Yeah, I am ready. So after Suresh.
Okay, great. I'll come back after Suresh.
Sure, thank you.
You can't see your screen yet.
I'm having some problem. 1 second.
Sure. And team, whoever's not speaking, can you please go on mute? Whenever you want to, you can unmute yourself. Line 35, if else explanation, please. Sure, I think we will touch on that slowly as we keep going forward. Maithili, can you put that chat in the chat, that one line? I think it was mentioned line 35.
Yeah, sure, Karthik. I can put it.
Thank you. I'll share it with the team. I'm not able to see your screen or you, Suresh. I don't need to see you, but your screen I can't see. For sure. I'll go to Neeraj. I'll come back to you. Not sure what's happening. Yes, Neeraj.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let me execute the code first. We'll see how that does for different. So that's a small tree. Okay, that's a bigger tree. When I was trying to do the notes here, somehow I felt like we added spaces also from here to here, so I tried to implement that as well.
Okay. Yeah,
okay. So So I have the comments here, just that section. And then I'm getting the user input for the height only, but not width, because I could not envision like how do I do if in case I give a width of 20, the tree structure would go away when it starts with. So I tried doing that, but didn't work out. So I just took the user input as just only that. So I'm using both the while loop and for loop. While loop for the width, height of the tree, and for width of the tree, I'm using a for loop. I will get there. So I'm initializing a variable just to use in while loop. And in here, because of my extra spaces, I had to do it into 2. Otherwise, like, it'll be only half printed. So I had to, like, say in case if my height is 4, then I need to do these lines. The highest number it's going to go is 8 characters here. So to get that, like, I had to do it like that. And then first, if we see here, I'm also using the end so that it does not go to the next line. First one, I'm trying to add the spaces, like these spaces, like, so that one should each time reduce by 2. So that, and then start printing the stars there. So I calculated this one. So what I'm doing is print the spaces into 20 of and how much ever for that particular while loop, how much ever the x value is. Like here it is going to be, it's starting with 1, so it will be 20 minus 1. So I'll have 19 characters in the beginning. The second one is going to have 17 characters because I'm reducing it by in the later stage, because I'm adding 2 more. Then the next line, when x becomes 3, then I'll get like 20 minus 3. So those many 17 characters will be here first. So that is for spaces. And to print the number of stars, I'm taking this, starting with the v, I'm just initializing another variable there. And then, like, whatever the range is, say my number is starting with 1, so it will print only 1 star. Say if it is going, like, say if it is in the 6th loop or something, so we will be starting from 1 to 0 to 6, like that. So those many stars will be printed there. And then I'm also trying to keep it in the same line. So as long as these many stars are printed, it's going to be in the same line. Then I am adding, so once these stars are printed, I want it to go to the next line. So I'm using this one to go into the next line. And then it loops there. So while also I have to increment the number. Otherwise, like if I hadn't had use spaces, then I just I'm supposed to do just x equal to x plus 1. But since I'm also including a logic to have spaces, I have to add like 2 times plus 2. So the next one, like from 1, it's going to be, the next one is going to be 3, next one is going to be 5, like that. Each time it's going to add 2 characters. Then to add the stem of the tree, I'm always using only 4 stems. So it doesn't matter how many characters, the length of the height of the tree is, I'm always using only 4. So I just said initialize another variable and then printed like get 19 spaces, so that because I'm using spaces as 20, so those many characters, 19 times I'm adding space and then adding a star there. So that way it will always come in the center only. Does that make sense?
Perfect. And go up, please. I want to see your X and Y or Z ones. Your X was very interesting in the way you added 2 to it. Then as for V in range, X is you had. Excellent. And team, apart from writing some amazing code that you're all doing that works, and I really love your code. It works brilliant. Okay, so it's got comments, it's got everything. So very glad to see this. You are all presenting it also very well, like seasoned programmers. I'm only thinking that maybe you're all experienced already in Python and just have come to this course to, just repeat it again. But this is a beautiful job, guys. Very nice.
Thank
Excellent.
you. My only limitation is that the highest number, this tree will be coming in proper format is I think 10 or 12, because if it goes beyond certain number, the tree will be looking weird. I just want to show that, so I'm trying to fix that as well. So if, like, until 10 it works fine, and then 11 also works fine. But if I go beyond, like, say 15 or so, look at that. Because I'm not adding enough spaces. So
wrong. I see. Sure. Maybe it's
so,
the how many print.
yeah.
So
if I just do, like, instead of that, if I do 30, then I can take, like, a little more number than that, and then for the stem I need to do, I think, 29. Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
team.
there you go. It's fixed.
I had to give you so many math thing also to play around with this. It was just
Yeah.
not for loops and print statements. Lots of math also involved. This is nice. So as long as I increase those limits there, directly and we will.
Yeah.
So this is 29. What was the other one? 30, is it?
Yeah, 30. Because these are the like, the spaces here, so that's what I was calculating. So 30.
Can you give me keyboard and mouse once? Okay, great. So control of your system. So you got your height. I'll say height A equals Q height star 2. Okay, multiplying it by 2.
Oh, yeah.
So
So that way it
here
can be flexible.
and I'll go below, and here
A minus 1.
A minus 1, is it?
Yeah.
Now let's rerun.
Oh no, hold on 1 second. You missed minus x. Can you go back to line 29? I think.
You can do it.
Oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be A minus.
Oh, A minus 6. Yeah, I missed.
Okay.
So and say 30 or 20 or.
Okay, then let's do 7 first. Yep. Oh, my 3.
No.
Oh, the 3 things it didn't have. Oh, because A, it should be.
Line 47. No, go down. Line 47 is saying. So here, A minus 1 is, star A minus.
But that's where. Oh, I think it is still.
Try once.
Oh yeah, sorry. Because it was taking into star first. I mean into A and then minus 1. So if I include that in the braces, then it can. Okay, so that is a smaller number
over the subtraction.
Yeah. Yep, it is working. Yes, you fixed it.
Okay, good. Great, good job, excellent. And see, I think this is how we will evolve, team. Programming is nothing but taking these concepts and keep applying it, learn a few more new things, and then we could. All right, great. So thank you, Niraja.
Sure.
Good job. Jaimin, making you presenter. Niraja, excellent job again. Very good.
Yeah.
Like the way you presented as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey Karthik, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so like I have written very short code.
So you're doing in 8 lines what we're doing in 30, 40 lines.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so here I put the for loop and I calculated the height of that and printed with the star. And here the leg, I mean leg means base of the tree. I put it here, and like we can increase the size. I mean whatever we want, we can change it here. But I tried with the center command. I mean center thing. But the number 20 is the perfect one. If I put like 10 or 30 or 40, it will not work. And in addition to that, I also put the base also in the down here, just to look good.
Well said. Surely it looks good. Yes.
Yeah, so if I run that, it will bring the tree like that.
Isn't that beautiful, team? Can it be dynamic? Can we take the number from the user? But like you said, we have little challenge with few numbers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see if I put like, if I remove the, if I put like, let's say 30. That,
Why don't we put a variable called x equal 30 and then put everything as xxxx? So that's why it's easy. Anyway, see what Damien did, team, I'll tell you. He tried to create a code that is quick and short that he can test and show and see if it works or not. And you know, that base code is done. So that's a great effort to create that code. And such a smart code. And believe me, I didn't even come up with the thought of why can't we use the center method or function for it. Just to center print it. I didn't even think of it. That was a great thought, Jamin.
yeah, actually, but for that I need to do like lots of Google and YouTube videos. It took me almost like 2 hours for that to come up with the code. But yeah, finally, actually,
Had I done the session yesterday, I would have showed you the code, the way I would have approached it. But I don't think I would have seen such variety of presentations from the students. I'm very glad that I did this today and I'm able to see. Great job, Jamin.
thank you.
Thank you so much. And whenever I get a big code, I'll write the big code and we'll send it to you and we'll say, can you shorten the code to 5 lines, please?
Yeah, sure.
Because that is possible in Python and you're doing a good job. Great one. Swati, main presenter. And I think I only have one more after this.
Yeah, hi Karthik. I have the the similar code, the one he showed. I used the center. Hello.
Maybe you're talking to each other on Skype or something and exchanging code.
No. See, after seeing all the initial presentation, I thought you will laugh if I show this piece of code. And I thought, okay, someone else is thinking like me. Okay, let's present
That's
this.
nice, right? You feel so good about it.
Yeah. So actually, I did it like it works. I didn't hard code it for some except the trunk part, so I can enter numbers as many as I can. So I give the height 14 and width 13. So this part I have to work it on because the range I have to change it every time.
Sure.
This is hard coded, right? So yeah, so I entered the 14, right? So it will be
7.
7, yeah.
6 maybe. I don't know.
7, no. 6, let's see.
7 we have, not center. Okay. 14, 13. Why is it taking so long to start your code? Not sure what was going wrong, but it has come still in the 4th position.
Yeah.
Only 4 spaces, I believe. print star dot center. See, if it's the center of 7, it will always print 7. Center of 7 will be. So what did we give height?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what is the variable
Height
name?
is
Height is
14.
width, right? Height is 14. So say dot center width, not 7, on line 23.
Here,
Line 23,
23. Mm-hmm.
change the 7 to width. Okay. And now line 22 is the size of the trunk. How many? Now the size
Yeah,
will
4.
be
Yeah, size I gave it a default as 4
height by
before.
2 you can give, or whatever you want. Just give height by 2.
Height by 2. Okay. You want me to run it now?
Fine. Let's try and execute it now. Where did it go wrong? Line 22. Range height by 2. Oh, if it can't divide by 2, it will have a problem. So you have to again make it as an, without any decimals and all that. For now, just give it standard 10 for now, please. Hard code it.
Center, can I keep it as a width or should I change it to 10?
Sorry. No, just hard code it to 10. At least we'll know what's happening. Then we can round it.
Okay.
That number, height by 2, we can round it to an integer.
Yeah, it's still
Only printing. No. Center, why did you do by 10? Line 23 should be width by 2 always. Sorry, height by 2 or whatever we're giving. Width by 2.
width by 2.
Yeah. Okay. And this also, you put it into round. So do I have access to you? One. Let me try that for a second, please. Request.
And I uninstalled the Python and installed the new one, and it's working fine for me.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So here I'm going to say round this number. So that way. Okay. Even here I can use the same, but let's leave it like that and run it. And run. It's pretty slow from my end. Don't know why. Oh, even worse.
Yeah.
No, why would it do this? Star dot center of. Anyways, we'll look into it, Fatih. Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if it's just 4, keep it as 4, and the one you asked, if I entered 8 and 7, it works fine. Do you want me to show that?
no, I seen it from. I understood it from a correct data perspective, but height and perspective only is what I'm looking at. So, but Swati, great job. See, it is. I was very happy to see the other code. And then when I saw your code also, it looks amazingly the same. So see, how can we build such simple logics? That's very critical, everyone. Thank you, Swati.
Yeah, I checked it. Everything is so lengthy. I
Yes.
thought, yeah, this one is easy. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think
the
I'll have
other
time enough today. I will show tomorrow from my end. I'll take it time.
okay, okay,
And what I try and do, team, I focus on the approach rather than the end result. Always. 110% always. So you love the approach, and that is the only thing I can show. You all are doing awesome from a solution perspective and even the approach perspective. I will show much slower way to get there, but we will definitely do that. Thank you, Swati. On to you, Chitra.
thank you, Karthik.
Hello. Hello.
I
Hi, Karthik. Can you hear me?
yes.
So, first thing, I took a maybe wrong input. So I just gave like a Neeraja, somebody did it right, the same thing. Like in between the star, I have taken as a space.
It looked like that in my code also, I guess, right?
I don't know, maybe I didn't notice properly. So
Okay.
that is how I have planned, and I have counted out like this is the reference thing, and from here, like how much space I need to give and all, I calculated, and then yeah, this is my exact code. That is
That would
your
have been much
question.
more harder to include spaces into it.
Yeah. So so yeah. So on this is the reference. So I counted everything here, how much space I need to give from the starting, and then so everything I counted here, and then how much stars and all I need to give and space everything, and then so here I just passed in the variable like taking the space as a x, and then I'm putting a star as a y. I'm storing in the variable, and then this count is like a space, how much space I'm gonna give first for the first row. So from here, like I can say, like I can give anything. Sorry, this is a wrong um, thing. Let me go back myself. Sorry about that. So this is my first workout. So I took a space for 7. So here, if I counted, like starting from here, it goes for the 7th space. I need to put it for the first row. So that's
Mhm.
why I counted and started like that. And then for the star counting also, it starts from 1. Sorry, here and there I'm moving. So if it's so disturbing, let me know. Okay. Um, so here first row 1, and then each row I'm adding 2 stars. So that's what I'm going to do it in my code. So first starting count star is 1 I taken as. I initialized as a 1, and then you gave the hard coded value. So I just gave hard coded value 8, and then width is 7. So
Sure.
I just calculated, but I didn't use the width here in my code, the variable, but I just wrote it down. And this is my code. So I don't know whether it looks good or not. So I'll just tell the whatever I have followed, the logic. So I have taken in the for loop height. So 8 is the height, right? So I have taken as a variable, and then I'm giving first if condition, I'm giving half of the tree has to be top, right? So that for a top I put a if loop, and then for the trunk I put a else if loop.
I see. I see. Now I was thinking there is the space is coming. So there they come. Okay.
Yeah. So now each and every time first row it comes, and then the count is 7, right? So 7
Mhm.
minus 1 I'm printing, and then this is the space. So first here the print statement, right, for each loop. So I
Mhm.
put the t print the 1. So that one it comes here like 7 spaces, and then this count is x plus y. So so here I considered as a so space and y. I mean x and y like that. So
Mhm.
that's why I have stored in a variable tprint2. So this count is like how many stars I need to give in each row. So when each loop comes, so I'm just reducing the 2 spaces, and then the star count I'm adding a 2 because each line it has to add 2. So that's how my loop goes. Once it reaches the half of the height and comes here, else loop, and then prints the center. Center I took it like sorry, this Yeah. So like how I calculated initially, like that I gave a 7 space and then printing the remaining rows for this trunk. This is how. So I'm going to run this. So this is how my tree looks like.
Can you do me a favor and X from space to an underscore and run it again?
So sorry, can you say that again?
Go to X equals space. Go up. Line
Yeah.
18. Make that space underscore, please. Line 18.
Okay, understood.
Just to see how it looks. Because see, you have replaced space with X. Correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wherever spaces are there, we can maybe see an underscore. So run this
Yes.
again, please.
Yes.
Okay. So the remaining it's not doing. It's almost doing that. Okay. Yeah. That's nice to see. I'm sorry, I'm playing with your code. If I was you, I will play for a while. On line 30.
Yeah, I did. See, I have before that this code also I have run. I mean, write this code. See, I have come up with some. Before that, I have wrote some other codes. I deleted it, and again I was playing with it. Still, I'm playing with it. See, this is my tree like this with having a little root like that. So again, it's also working right now. Finally. See?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, again, so after seeing the videos, I just copy paste and I trimmed the space also. This is also working. I just increased the height and everything. See, this is also working.
Okay, good. And team, some of you have done with the tree. Try and print a mirror image of a tree just below it. So there's a tree on top, there's a trunk, then there'll be a trunk, maybe a line you can give in between, and then give a trunk, and then again tree reverse side, upside down tree, just below the lightweight tree. It'll be fun.
Again, you're asking us to print here, like put a line and again 4 row and then top as a triangle, right?
Under this tree, there'll be one more tree upside down.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, guys, I'm learning a lot. Just seeing how you're approaching things, team. This is amazing. Now, I think we should all look at the best solutions eventually, what will work good. I've got a few requests from some of the members who could not do the exercise or assignment so far to give them one more day so they could show it tomorrow and then we could solve it. So I'm going to wait for tomorrow before we can get into that. It'll be interesting. The few most points in Python that we have to basically cover, team, before we can get into using it for maybe automation. So we'll talk about that. I think we're good for the day. I was interested in looking at these and I did not expect this, team. This is excellent presentations from each of you. Great work. And other members try it. You've seen the sample codes, what they're doing. Give it an attempt from your end as well. Okay. I will accept a solution that hard codes and just does print all the way. I will still accept it, team. That is fine, but that's an put that effort in, please. Excellent job, team. Really motivating me today, right now. Thank you so much. Shall I see you all back tomorrow then? Any questions from anyone? Any technical issues that you're facing at your end with Python on whatever we discussed so far? If yes, raise your hand. Let me know, please. We can maybe look at your screen if you're stuck anywhere. And thank you, team, for taking the programs from the video and writing it on your own.
Thank you, Karthik.
I will explain to you how the ideal tree structure will be. I will show you both the height and width, team. See, for me, when I look at this problem, right, the tree and the width are important. I may have a tree which is very tall, only a small top, or I may have a tree with a small base, but but a huge width. So it is possible. And even the members who've given it so far, keep trying some more. Any good websites to learn from apart from what I'm teaching? Absolutely yes. There is only one website that is called w3schools.com. Let me tell you, team, show you where. So I don't try and use anything else if I have to look at from a curriculum perspective. Okay, so go to w3schools.com, scroll down, go to learn Python. And it has got all these different things that we're doing. We're somewhere here still. Okay. We covered a little if else, while loops, for loops. We haven't come to list, tuple, sets, dictionaries. We still have to do strings, casting. We have to get to functions, arrays, not arrays, but classes, objects, modules, JSON, pip, try, accept, user input. We're doing any string formatting. File handling will do a lot of that. Machine learning possibility, but not as part of our current program team, because from that we'll shift to automation testing using this. w3schools.com is a good one. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow then. Take care, all of you. Bye now. Keep working on it. Keep coding, and would love to see some more tomorrow. Thanks all. Bye.